As I stand here today, I have been a victim of Wagalla.
As somebody who was affected that time, as somebody whose parents were in Wagalla, as somebody whose relatives and neighbors perished during that time.
The Wagalla massacre is a massacre of the ethnic Somalis by Kenyan security forces on 14 February 1984 in Wagalla district, northern Kenya. The massacre took place at the Wagalla airstrip. The facility is located approximately 14 kilometers west of the Wagalla district capital of Wagalla in northeastern province, a region primarily inhabited by ethnic Somalis. Kenyan troops had descended on the area to reportedly defuse clan-related conflict. However, according to eyewitnesses' testimony, about 5,000 Somali men of especially the Dogodia clan were then taken to an airstrip and prevented from accessing water and food for 4 days before being executed by Kenyan soldiers. It's claimed that they had their shirts removed and were forced to lie down in the hot sun with temperatures exceeding 37 degrees Celsius. According to a commissioner with the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission of Kenya, a government oversight body that had been formed in response to the 2008 post-election violence, the Wagalla massacre represents the worst human rights violation in Kenyan history. The exact number of people killed in the massacre is unknown. However, eyewitnesses place the figure at around 5,000 deaths. For many years, the Kenyan government denied that a massacre had taken place and insisted that only 57 people were killed in security operation to disarm the area's residents. Therefore, on this day, 14 February 2014, still the victims of Wagalla have their heads on their hands and want those behind the merciless killings be brought to justice. Tears rolled down the orphans and the widows of the massacre. At one time, the pain eluded nobody. Everybody, including the leaders, felt it.
اللهم إنا نسألك رضاك والجنة ونعوذ بك من سخطك والنار. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية. اللهم أرنا السرور في جميع الأمور. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا فارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا فارزقنا اجتنابه. مرك إلهي سبحانه وتعالى حقوقنا نجمعا هدي أن دوننا إلهي أكتيس ذنبكم آها دين الإسلام كان ذنبكم إلهي سبحانه وتعالى وحنا فريا إن ما أمر إلهي وحنا فريا إن الحق أن الرئاسنا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. This is the Wagalla massacre happened in a way that it cannot be described, and it is so. We describe it in different forums. Not only in this city we can do it. We struggle against it through different forums. I recall Honorable Ahmed Khalid, Honorable Sarang, both raised this issue in the parliament. Also, the President Honorable Muhammad Alwi and Alina, this short man near me, Noor, they also tried to save those people who were possibly injured, and they collected the dead bodies. This was among the struggles that were done. Also, outside from this country, other place, in another place, Abdul Umar, Yellow and other teams, they tried to talk about Wagalla issue in a different forums. Definitely those were heard. All in all, later, the TJRC was appointed under Kiblagat chairman. We refused and shouted. When Kiblagat stepped aside, we cooperated, and then we presented all the documents, everything we had. The TJRC made a comprehensive report about massacres. And that massacres report covers about 350 pages, of which about 200 pages are only about Wagalla. Within that 200 pages, 145 pages is only talking how the incident happened. All the other pages is only talking the names. The names are not only the ones who died, but those who are living with injuries. They were given numbers, everything was done. There was a recommendation they did. And if this recommendation is implemented, I am sure most of our cries will be answered. But very unfortunate, the same issue was taken to the parliament, and we fear that it's going to be thrown outside the window.
مليان غير رقعيني مالي الدنيا ومعاشرها مريه عطايا ومدحيس سيمو مجيب وعان هلانا مجيب وعان هلانا ميت والدادي مجيب وعان هلانا ميت والدادي سيدي موشك قاريا صورتي مدويا مندليا سرقاليا مندليا سرقاليا ميقايا مقالة مالقبا دقاديا وطنبي وجر مقالة لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله ولا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia uwanja tunaingia tukiwa na huzuni. Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia uwanja tunaingia tukiwa na huzuni. Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia uwanja tunaingia tukiwa na huzuni. Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia uwanja tunaingia tukiwa na huzuni. Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia uwanja tunaingia tukiwa na huzuni. Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia uwanja tunaingia tukiwa na huzuni. Sisi wanafunzi, sisi wana Wagalla, tunaingia mbele yenu ni wanafunzi kutoka shule ya upili ya Wagalla wanaoletea shairi lenye mada madhila ya wana Wagalla. Hebu niwasimulie kisa cha ajabu. Hiki ni kisa cha kale, vijimambo kuleta bila aibu, imefanya kiblia bila sahibu, madhila kufanyiwa bila sababu. Madhila kufanyia bila sababu. Ilikuwa vilio vijijini, watu wetu waliteswa, hatuwezi kusahau. Wote waliokuwa wamekosana au bwana lingine ila kukutana, walifuatana bila kuangaliana, madhila kupewa bila kuangaliana. Walitembea kwa kamba, walifanana kama mamba, hata mavazi yao yalikuwa membamba. Watu wetu waliteswa, hatuwezi kusahau. Vilikuwa vilio vijijini, watu wetu walipigwa, hatuwezi kusahau.
May Allah rest their souls in peace. We remember you every year. The poem is entitled I Cry. I cry. I speak of my people who are left and neglected, pushed aside and beaten, years that passed and counting, treated unkind and molested. I speak of my people who are colonized and mistreated, paralyzed and scattered, separated and threatened, can't stand and fight back. I speak of a land, men were burnt and killed, women were raped and dragged, houses were torched and looted, orphans and widows were for our fathers who were shot and killed. I cry for my uncles who were left paralyzed. I cry for my sisters and brothers whose parents were taken away, left orphans. I cry and cry. I cry. Thank you very much.
The Secretary of the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, Patricia, said that the Commission has the responsibility of helping and mentoring the Wagalla massacre victims and will fight until justice will prevail for them.
As the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, we are honored to participate in the 30th commemoration of the Wagalla massacre. One of the things that touches me about the Wagalla massacre, this must be the 3rd year that I have attended the commemoration, is the depth of the heart and the freshness of the tears. And we are moved to always empathize deeply with our brothers and sisters here at Wagalla. We are touched by your forthrightness in demanding for the implementation of the TJRC report. We thank you for leading all Kenyans in demanding that the report must be implemented. And I think you are privileged that today you have the ear of your elected leaders in the National Assembly. We trust that they have heard. I think one of the questions that we must continue to ask ourselves as Kenyans is what we intend to do with the truth. That is something we must ask ourselves as Kenyans. Do we intend to mutilate it? Do we intend to deny it? Do we intend to pretend that the truth is not the truth? I think one of the things that you have reminded us as the residents of Wagalla is the truth can never be buried. And the greatest service that we will do ourselves as a Kenyans is to begin to live under the shadow of the truth. I want to say that as the Commission, we are honored that we could, in this manner and with the support of the GIZ, participate in the construction of this monument. The road, the 30-year journey that you have taken has been long and difficult. And as we unveil the monument today, the assurance that we are giving the residents of Wagalla, the victims, and other Kenyans who suffered historical injustice to pursue justice, and we trust that we shall be successful. And therefore we want to congratulate the Wagalla Trust Foundation, the members of Truth Be Told, and again reiterate our support in ensuring that that which you set out to do, you will achieve. I will not leave here without appreciating the commitment that has been expressed by the representative from the National Museums of Kenya. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I trust that this is yet another step in ensuring that justice shall be realized for the Wagalla victims.
Wajir East Member of Parliament Abbas Mohammed said that he will mention the Wagalla massacre again and again and will also appeal to the national government to bring those behind it to book.
وسط الجوري وقتي نسمع حمد وقال الوضع عدي أنت دمت الله ونحرسته عرورتي هي هويك هي كتير على حساب إيمان الله سيو بركة واليال أنا أفسع البنك الله يا أنا أدوينا الله يا رال وجهرسين Your Excellency, the Governor, honorable members of Parliament, my colleagues, our visitors from the Human Rights and GIZ, MCS. Today, as we stand here, we celebrate 30 years of Wagalla Massacre, most unfortunate incidents that has taken place. And as a victim, as I stand here today, I have been a victim of Wagalla. I was a senior government officer, a divisional head, but unfortunately, I was taken to Wagalla because of my tribe. It's the most painful incident that I've ever witnessed, and I will never thought an independent country, people with at least feelings, will be able to treat his own people the way things have happened in Wagalla. It's a very bad memory for me to remember, actually. It's very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. And up to today, after 30 years, the Kenyan government is still denying. I'm here as a member of parliament who was a victim and a witness, a living witness. Very unfortunate. I wish to thank Wagalla trustees. I wish to thank the NGOs. I wish to thank the Kenya Human
Thus, the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights unveiled a memorial for the Wajir massacre victims in Wajir town. The unveiling of the monument, which bears the names of 482 victims, coincides with the 30th anniversary of the massacre. The monument, which was erected at the Rahi grounds, attracted a large number of people and leaders alike.
Grow stronger, more and more. Those students, those orphans, boys and girls today are paramount people across the world. Today, we have lawyers, we have doctors, we have pilots from Wagalla massacre parents. I say God, thank God. Thank you, God, for giving us that strength and moving forward. For those of you who thought Wagalla people will shift from Wajir, that we will die poor, I'm good, we're getting stronger, more and more, we're getting more richer. Alhamdulillah, ilayhi maskara. For those of you who can forgive, but will never forget. Wagalla has taught me one thing, to forgive but not forget. Wagalla has taught me to choose my friends. But however, I'm not bitter, because it has made me stronger. Alhamdulillah, where I am today, I think it is the strength I got from Wagalla that I'm able to move forward and never look back. My brothers and sisters, I think I want to tell my others, I want to get stronger. Inas needed this team. Inshallah, عليك هدانا الملحدين وإلى تاجناهي وقال أرنتنا وانكهلينا وحاجة سنتين واحد منا يمر إن شاء الله هذا نبتين عرضتين بانول عرض سيدا بانول وقال إن شاء الله وقت اللي وقت بحال جارايا وقال دولة كينيا أي وقال قصب وقال إن شاء الله عليك هدانا الملحدين وإلى تاجناهي. One thing I want to tell you is, even the time of Mau 50 years independence, the British government has owned the massacre that has committed against the Kenyan people. I think it's a high time the Kenyan government, I know the current government and the previous government has not owned it, and inshallah one day I know they will own it. It's a high time the current president, His Excellency the President, took the responsibility and say sorry to people of Wajir for what the Kenyan army and the Kenyan forces have committed against the Wajir people. One other thing is, I know as a member of parliament, we are standing and waiting. The TJRC report will come, it's already there. The parliament is trying to change. The parliament is trying to change and to remove some names, but we will not accept that. They have to sneak it very late hours when we last time, around before midnight. But what they have signed is that the report can be changed by parliament. But we will stand by our words. We will never change that report. Even if they change, the report copy is there in the world, it is everywhere. I will use that same copy against whoever has done that heinous act against the people of the innocent people of Wajir. Nataka kuambia kwamba hata wakabadilisha hiyo kopi bado iko Kenya mzima, iko dunia mzima, kila mahali iko hata wakisema nini, hata wakabadilisha, we will still use ile kopi ya TJRC, ile original copy, and we will still sue those guys whether they are alive or dead. Tunasimama na nyuso. We will not give in. I want again to repeat, I will appeal to the government of Kenya. Please swallow your pride, apologize to the people of Wajir. The act has been committed. Everybody has known it. I'm a witness, a member of parliament. I was a victim. So I want to give the Kenya government to own whatever it has committed and say only sorry. It's not a simple thing. It doesn't cost anything. For those of us and the young boys and girls, I want you to stand strong. Nataka musome na roho ngumu ya kwamba alhamdulillah tumewahi, tumeendelea, tumesoma na leo tunafanya kazi, tumepata mali, and we will never look back. I want you to look forward. Ya mwisho, nafikiri leo ni Jumaa na tutasamehe ya kwamba mkoa unataka Wagalla memory isikufe. Nataka kuomba Wajir hasa wenyeji ambao wanakaribia hii ghurahi ya kwamba tafadhali naomba kwa nyenyekevu tena hii ardhi muachane na hii ardhi. We want to use the land for memory purposes. We want to build those monuments. We want to have the wells. These are the first wells in Wajir. Please, this is a small place. Hapa ni sehemu kidogo sana, na kila siku tunatetana mambo ya ghurahi. Naomba kwa nyenyekevu tena wale ambao wako na tamaa ya ghurahi, naomba nyinyi tafadhali kwa heshima yenu muachane ghurahi, tujenge Wagalla memory, tujenge katiba ya library ambao tunaweka vitabu ya ripoti ya Wagalla, tunaweka mambo mengi historia ya Wajir. Kwa hivyo naomba bwana governor tafadhali, hapa tungependa tubadilishe iwe at least a center for excellency place for learning, library, iwe na mahali pa kupanda miti, mahali pa fahari ambao we will remember our people in the past.
Tarbach Member of Parliament Mohammed Elmi urged the public to respect the Orehi grounds, saying it is not for sale at all and is deemed special.
Assalamu alaikum Wajir. Ningependa ijulikane leo ni siku ya kukumbuka yaliyotendeka mwaka 30 iliyopita, na Kaba Abbas nilishuhudia, niliona ikitendeka, lakini tunasema alhamdulillah, nchi yetu imeendelea. Leo tumesimama hapa na tunaanza kuzungumza juu yake. Kwa miaka 20 tulikuwa tunaandika barua, tunaenda maofisi, tunaenda mawakili, na ilikuwa ni ngumu kuzungumzia, lakini tuko na katiba na kuna watu wengi ambaye walihakikisha mambo ya Wagalla itaendelea na itajulikana dunia mzima. Nafikiri wale wa hapa Wajir wamesemekana na organizations zote zimetajwa, lakini kuna wengine watu wa Wajir hawajui. Tangu Wagalla ilitendeka kwa miaka nyingi mpaka Kenya ikakuwa multi-party, kulikuwa na watu walikuwa wanafanya demonstration London office, embassy yake. Mmoja yao ni mjumbe anaitwa Yusuf Hassan, originally ni kutoka Wajir. Jana alikuwa ananiambia ile barua alisomea mbele ya huko ako naye, na itakuwa kwa kitabu ambaye ana publish, na anatuma salamu zake. Nilikuwa tu alipata madhara siku karibu, lakini leo tuna fursa, tuko na Abdi Jalaho ambaye anajulikana pia Abdi Dide. Wale watu walisimama wakafanya kila mwaka demonstration kwa baridi ya London na Canada. Alikuwa chamani yao, na nataka nimpatie fursa kidogo aseme machache.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم الرجال السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته وعن هذا Somali لكن I want to say few words in English. Today it is the 30th anniversary of Wagalla. I attended 27 of them. Either I organized or I attended. I attended 2 of them here in Wagalla. The rest I did in either in Washington, Ottawa, or London. I think we have achieved a lot. People are saying, why are you guys repeating all the time Wagalla anniversary? But I can tell you, we have achieved a lot. I never thought this day will happen in Kenya. I never thought the Kenya government will allow to have demonstration here in front of Ruhi or even in Wagalla. Now, I will say a few things in Somali. Dadka inta badan waxay yiraahdaan maxaad noo xasuusisaan Wagalla oo 30 sano hadda aan ka hor dhacday. Ma aynan ahayn inaad qalbigayna jibinaysaan. Maya. Laba arrimood ayaan u soo binnaa Wagalla ay tahay lagama maarmaan aan u soo binnaa. Midda koowaad inayna dhicin wixii Wagalla ka dhacay 30 sano ka hor inay mar dambe Kenya ka dhicin meel lamid ah. Kenya waxay ku tahay arrinta Wagalla dhibac aan ka go'ayna abadka ninkii tagay Geneva markuu arka waddan kasta xuquuqda bini'aadamka meesha ka galay laga tusaa Kenya waxay kaga jirtaa number 1 Wagalla Massacre dhibka ay ka geysay mid waa taas inay dib u dhicin midda labaad in la sii magdhow dadkii laga geeriyooday haweenkii carruurtii waxaan garanayaa qoys ka mid ah qoys reer Wajir oo 8 carruur lahay aboodna lagu dilay Wagalla ilaa hadda magdhow la siin miyayna taa xaq darro ahayn taas miyayna xaq darro ahayn waa xaq darro marka saa ay taas u dhicin waayadii hore waxaan weydiisan jirnay qodobayaal fara badan dowladda Kenya waxaan dhihi jirnay maxkamad ha la keenay ninkii ka dambeeyay dilkan dowladda ha baarta hana u geysa guddi gaar ah oo madax bannaan wixii oo dhan waa isku soo goobnay waxaan ogaanay ninka aad leedahay baar waa ninkii dadka dilay ninka aad leedahay maxkamad ha la soo saaro waa ninkii dadka dilay hadda waxaanu weydiisanaynaa 3 qodob oo kaliya aniga saan soo jeedinahay anigoo ku hadlaya magaca reer Wajir iyo magaca jaariyadda waqooyi bari ee Soomaalida ku nool Canada iyo North America iyo Europe waxaan soo jeedinaynaa 3 qodob in dowladda Kenya ay soo bis arrinta koobaad waxa ka dhawajay Maxamuud Abbas madaxweynaha Mo amiinka ninka la yiraahdo Uhuru waa inuu inta Wajir imaada oo ka raali geliyaa wixii ka dhacay Wagalla waa inuu ka raali geliyaa taas haddaan la sameeynin annagu weligeyn dhaafi mahin arrinta ayada waa wadayna midda labaad in magdhow la siiya annagu xaq waxaan leenahay sharci baan leenahay Soomaaliland boqol geel ayaa qofka dhiigiis haddaan ka horumar baan weydiistay arrintaas inay Kenya ogolaato magdhow inay siiso oo qof kasta dadkaas dhiiskaas ku qoran ninkiiba la siiyo boqol geel dhiigeed waa in la siiyaa waxaa jiray dad badan oo arrintan u soo baaba'ay uma dhib ku gaartay waxaan rabaa inaan u duceeyo midda saddexaad aan u duceeyo Axmed Khaliif waad ogtihiin Wagalla ninkii gacanta noo saaray asagaas ay gacanta ninkii noo geliyay dadka waa la leeyahay laakiin dadka kale waa kala careen ninkii u baxay oo isku day ayuu ahay Axmed Khaliif iyo Cabdisalaam dadkii maaragtay arrintaas aad uga hadlay waxaan u duceynaynaa waxaan rabnaa inaan u duceyno Ilaahay jannada ka waraabiyo dadkii kaloo dhintaan Allah u naxariiso waana mahadsantihiin assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatuh
on 27th commemoration of Wagalla. No, I'm talking of the 27th. We came here with the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. At that time, he gave the apology of the Kenya government. He also ordered the government ministries to do 3 things. The Ministry of Northern Kenya and Ministry of Education to build a commemoration secondary school and I'm happy that has been done. He ordered the Ministry of Social Services to build a monument and look after it. He also ordered that they build a memorial and a museum. So my request to the county government is that the second request that was not fulfilled, which is the one of building a memorial library and a museum so that we can keep all the history of Wajir, and it's one of the oldest towns of this country. It commemorated its 100 years, 2012, and it will be built just behind here. I will speak in Somali later. That's request number one that I make to His Excellency the Governor of Wajir, Ahmed Abdullahi. The second request that I really want to make is to the general public of this country. We, the leadership of Wajir, the people of Wajir, have persisted in keeping what happened in Wagalla alive for many reasons. But the foremost is that it shall never happen again in anywhere in Kenya. We want Kenyans to begin to really think human rights, fundamental thing in their lives. Otherwise, it will be talk. We have created institutions as a country, Kenya Human Rights, and thank you for this support. It must be lived by every Kenyan. As long as people think human lives are not important, then we cannot continue blaming any other people. My second request is to the leadership and the political elite of this country. If you think human rights, when people are killed, those are not part of you. You are secure in your gates, in wherever you live. If you are leadership in this country and you think it is okay for the security forces to use wanton or unconstitutional means, if you are leader of bandits like the ones in Baragoy and you think you can kill policemen and that's okay, then something is wrong with us. The leadership, the political leadership, and the political elites of this country, we are burying our heads in the sand. I want to use two incidents to show that we have still not learned our lessons from Wagalla. Over 40 policemen were killed. Today, we have not seen anybody who has been brought to justice. Just the other day, with no Al-Shabaab Isamanettes, we want to fight it. But what the security forces did in the mosque in Mombasa reminded me of Wagalla. Why? They could easily have arrested those people the day before. For weeks they have been advertising what they are going to do. Why wait until even the pacifiers, the young, the old, who have gone to the mosque to pray are inside, for you to apply a force that is nowhere in our laws? And it looks there was no outrage. Not from all, only the people who came from there or maybe some Muslims. It should be an outrage for every leader in this country. When the policemen were killed, this is up 2 years. You want to tell me we don't have investigative people? How did people organize themselves, kill policemen, and still walk free, and we have not arrested them? Recently, it was reported a man killed for his wife for 50 bob. That's a human rights issue. There was no outrage in this country. So what I'm saying is, the political leadership, we must wake up and make human rights a reality. The people of this region overwhelmingly supported this constitution for two main reasons. One was the excellent Bill of Rights. We shall fight, and when I say fight, I don't mean killing anybody. We shall fight through the courts, through the political forums to ensure those Bill of Rights are respected. Criminals can be arrested. We should build jails. Nobody has the right to kill somebody in the name of security. Nobody has the right to profile anybody in the name of security. We can be secure when we have justice. The second thing why we overwhelmingly supported this constitution is devolution. I'm telling the people of Wagalla, Garissa, and Mandera, let's hold this devolution with both hands. Let's keep usual politics out of it. Let's keep the usual tribalism out of it. Let's make devolution work for us. Finally, I want to say a little thing in Somali. Walal of Somali waxyar ku sheegi rabaa. Waxaan leeyahay maalin walba waxaan Wagalla u leenahay ilaa waqtigii dhaciisay. Waxa mar dambe meel aad tabay ka dhicin. Waxaan maleynaa 27 guureedii barnaamijka waa imaaday. Waxaas raalli aadaas iskuul kasaala dhisaas waa dhisnay Soomaa. Waxaan codsanaynaa in meeshan laga dhiga meeshii museum iyo library weyn badan oo weliga leelmaamin oo magacyahan ilaaliya si ay bartama ku dhicin. Bidaaye handana la say waa rabnaa laakiin anaga waxa u dagaalamahayna oo idayda hal bixiyo waleena waxa waaya aqoonsiga sakarta wixii nagu dhacay lacag bixin karta malaha shilin bixin kara wixii dadka dhulkan ku dhacay ma jirto. Marka waxaan codsaday gabanageena Ahmed Abdullahi inuu noo dhiso meesha walaalka Abbas dhulka iska dhawaaj. Waxaan u maleynaa 90 Abdullahi Rashid waa la wada qana iyo wajah volunteer go'aanti aldaf noqon meeshan waan on gurigaas la bilaa dhagaxaas la suur waa la jooji sharci ahaan waa la og yahay meeshan inay qaf laan karada wajar leen qafkii u maleynaya aan shaban been soo agaagsaday oo dhul meeshan isku leeyahay u maleynaya ay loodas. Waxaan rabnaa shay wajar kulli isku leeyihiin oo ma artay Wagalla lagu soo dubo oo weyn badan in meeshan laga dhigo. Aanshimaanan hayno ee gabdhaha maalin walboodaan meesha la dhiga sawirahooda la dhiga yaan ka rabnaa. Marka waxaan rabnaa hadhowti aan isjiidan maxkamadda u weynayna waraaqii waan haynaa markii la baasmarin waan haynaa nin lahaan karmala commissioners ka dhulkan waa joogan. Marka dadkan waraaqaha been soo agaagsan sharciga waa soo gali ilaa 63 ninka waxa in laga soo celin karo. Marka aan isku wareerin siyaasan laga dhigin iskuulka iyo meeshan waxay dhaxdooda ayalkaas waa keen ka dhisnay. geediin kulli ku abuurnay waa la wada ogaay waa la wada quraanta dad rabina qaat maashi la leeyahay maxkamad la tagayna maashi ida waxaan rabnaa shay wajar anfaca oo gabana ka codsanayna oo dawladda horena ka codsanayna oo waxana lagu faaday ilmaana ay ku baran karaan xaflad weyn oo waa midda Wagalla oo ay jirtaan aan ku qabsan karnaa. Wassalaamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
maanta waxaan halkaas ku maadnay waa arintii Wagalla Massacre waxaan isku dayaa insha Allah mid ugu horeysa inaan haliya Ingiriis aan ku hadlo marka ka bacdina insha Allah wixii tafaasiir Soomaali. As you commemorate the 30th year after the Wagalla Massacre, I want, as somebody who was affected that time, as somebody whose parents were in Wagalla, as somebody whose relatives and neighbors perished during that time, to send condolences for those who died and those who were affected, as well as the survivors. When Wagalla Massacre, when it happened, I would say so, I was a very young boy. I was in Giriftu, and I remember very well that incident like it happened yesterday. Early in the morning, around 4-5 a.m., dozens of lorries full of policemen rounded the whole village of Grift. As young as we were, we never knew what that was all about. By that time, I had not known my tribe because we coexisted very well with all tribes and all families without knowing who is from which clan. All the men were rounded up, including my headmaster that time, Yusuf Amin, the GPTC principal, Farah, my father, all the civil servants, everybody was taken to Giriftu Airstrip. From there, they were bundled into vehicles, lorries, and taken to Wagalla. I thought my father will come back, but for 2 weeks, never. I had not seen him for 2 weeks. I thought he died. Then, later, we heard that he was found in Wajir. My mother had to come to look for him. He later told us he was taken to a place called Tarbaj. He had never seen Tarbaj before, in the bushes of Tarbaj, and collected by good Samaritans. I presume that should be Honorable Elmi and his team, Alalina, the left. While in Giriftu, our hearts were touched, all of them. It was smoke all over the town. I remember, oblivious of what will happen to me, I tried to click on the drum of water that was in our heart as the policemen were touching the house. Luckily, my aunt held me and pulled me. That was the water that will have kept alive for the next 3 days. It was not easy getting even water. We will trek for 1 kilometer, 6 a.m. until dusk, not even get a 5 liter of water. All the wells were covered with police. Nobody allowed us to take water. Animals were astray everywhere. That incident, I will never forget. Any moment, any day, as I pass through Wagalla Airstrip, it's like it happened yesterday. It's like I see thousands of people lying on that airstrip, naked. Now, 30 years later, we're here and we're able to talk about it. 30 years before, the late Caliph, may God bless his soul, and a few others would dare speak about it. Thanks God, today we are on this podium and talking about it. As legislators, with my friends, Senior Elmi and the others, we assure you we will not relent in the pursuit for justice for the people of Wagalla. We are aware that late at night, a few people, as usual, using the tyranny of numbers, tried to sneak in some amendments in the TJRC report. We will not stop at that. We will make sure that we will go up to the end and make sure that justice is done. For the Jubilee government, you have to know that 30 years ago, thousands and thousands of people were rounded up and put in Wagalla airstrip with no food, no water for 3 to 4 days. That is and human rights violation. Just like we are talking for the people of post-election violence, we should talk about the Wagalla massacre. They have rights just like the people of the post-election violence have rights. I assume the people who were behind this, the perpetrators, should have been behind the bars. Indeed, they should also go to ICC. Now they are everywhere, whining and dining with the high and the mighty. We will not stop until justice is done. So far as they are alive, that gives us the strength to push for the justice of the people of Wagalla. We will not stop.
Also, Fatuma Ibrahim, the Wajir County Women Representative, said that the TJRC should be respected and it should not be interfered with.
I want to say first, this commemoration till the end of the world. Even if Wajir people are compensated, even if they are given, and we will ever commemorate, even if the end of the world, even if all monies are given. The TJRC has done a report. The report was very detailed. The recommendations were very progressive. Even people like the chair who was a suspect could not correct the report. The TJRC report, we must all defend it. Whether it's massacres, whether it's land, whether it's police killings, we must defend it. We cannot say we only defend it for the massacre chapter. We have to defend it throughout. Wahanda Hai report to TJRC and who so sorry to Batoli Gadai and Wahalai if he say what does the Gadai. Made another hundred of say to make Wagala, like in Wagala Clitman. We can die Mombasa, we can die Tukano, we can die Munera, Dari, Wajer, Isielo, another Marway
During the unveiling, Wajir County Governor Ahmed Abdullahi said that his government will continue to fight for the Wagalla victims. He added that his government will build a library that will be used to keep reports and materials of the Wagalla massacre.
Visiting commissioners, the CEO of the Kenya National Human Rights Commission, land commissioners who are here, honorable members of the County Assembly, members of my executive committee who are here, and the opinion leaders who may not fall into any of those categories present, all the people of Wajir, Assalamu alaikum. I'll make my remarks first in English and in a very summarized way also speak to my people. We are here today to commemorate the 30th anniversary of Wagalla. It is a dark part of our history as a country, as a county, and as a people. The details of what happened, I'll spare both myself and the congregation here. But I want to make it very, very clear. We will commemorate Wagalla for as long as we live. And when we go, our children's children will do the same. I want to thank the TJRC for being very candid and forthright in capturing the atrocities that happened in northern Kenya. And not only the Wagalla massacre, but all the other atrocities and massacres, including Malkamari, Bulakartas, and all the rest. And I want to urge Parliament, I want to urge the government at national level not to mutilate the TJRC report. The very purpose of setting up TJRC was to heal this nation. And we cannot heal this nation through falsehoods. We must accept the truth, we must preserve the truth, and we must not deny it but apologize and move on. We know it is not the government that's in place today that committed these atrocities. We are not saying it is the government of His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta that did this. We know there was no Jubilee in 1984. But the government of Kenya is a legal entity. And like any other legal entity has what is called perpetual succession. And this is why the Mau Mau got redress through the UK government and the UK courts. This is why, as we speak today, those who committed the genocide in the World War II are being hunted down when they are octogenarians and 100 years old. So all we are saying is the government of Kenya as a legal entity at national level should live up to the true spirit of truth and justice and reconciliation, and accept and apologize for what was committed in the name of that crown and that flag of Kenya. On our part as a county government, the requests that have been made here by Honorable Elmi of putting up the library and the museum and an auditorium that we can use to commemorate Wagalla and also to transact any other societal business. We will not wait for that from the government of Kenya. My county government will do it. We will also sit down with the residents of Wagalla, the elected county rep and the MP, to see what is the best way of also dealing with the issue of the airstrip. If we have to protect the portion that was used to commit the atrocity and do an airstrip in any other adjacent area, so be it, but we will look at it and see what it is that we can do to preserve the memory of that airstrip. And as far as the comments that were made about Orehe here is concerned, next week you'll probably find in the paper, to the best of my knowledge, the tendering process for the fencing, landscaping, and all that goes with it, intended for the preservation of the entire perimeter of Orehe as a park. We know that it's preserved by the national museums. As a county government, we are investing money. And I don't want to repeat what has been said by Mheshimiwa Elmi here. If you have an allotment letter, I'm told that's what they're called, for Orehe, just forget about it. We have the National Land Commission here. Tomorrow we are having a hall, a county hall meeting, purposely to present to the people of Wajir what it is that we plan to do in as far as resurveying of this town is concerned, in as far as opening up the roads is concerned, and we want to progress that to titling of individual plots within 12 months. That's the promise we've made to ourselves while partnering with National Land Commission. So all this other grabbed land, be it in Orohi or elsewhere, we know what to do with it. We will see to it. The land is a heritage for everyone, it's not a heritage for a few. Last but not least, I don't want to go into other things because today is about Wagalla. I want to thank, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who's kept the flame burning for the last 30 years. We want to thank in particular those who preceded us and that were in leadership at the time, the MPs of the time, both of whom have departed us today, the late Honorable Ahmed Khalif and the late Honorable Abdsalam Sheikh Mohammed. We want to thank the activists, be they the trust of Wagalla or the Truth Be Told or networks outside of this country, such as the one that Yalaho belonged to. It is through their effort that we have been able to preserve the details, the information, and kept in the memory of everyone in the world that Wagalla did happen at a time when no one could stand on a podium and talk about it. We also want to extend our thanks to everyone who played a role in fighting for this constitution that we have. It is through their effort that today we are able to stand out here and mourn, and do it openly without the fear of victimization. I would end what I want to say in English there. I want to thank all of you also who've turned up and been here for hours on end in this hot sun. And I assure you that my government will do what it has to preserve the monument that we want to unveil today also as part of commemorating Wagalla as an annual event, and also seeing to it that that history and the names of those who lost their life there that have been put up by the TJRC and Kenya National Human Rights Commission is not erased.
Thus, the Kenya National Commission of the Human Rights unveiled a memorial for the Wajir massacre victims in Wajir town. The unveiling of the monument, which bears the names of 482 victims, coincides with the 30th anniversary of the massacre. The monument, which was erected at Orohi grounds, attracted a large number of people and leaders alike. "30 years later, the Wagalla victims are still looking for answers. The pain and the agony of losing their loved ones is still drawn on their faces, but the question on everybody's mind is when will the perpetrators of the Wagalla massacre be brought to book?
aan dareemayna xanuun ma ahina beergooyo aan dareeray aan damay aan aad u dareemayna dib badan oo fool xunna waana soo maray marka askarta Kenya marka ay noo imaadayso waxa inaga bilowday yaastihiina inaga bilowday ninka kabilagaani ayna dhahan sisna dagoodiyaan dhahan kama u dagoodiyaas kajana marka kumena kaana una fika haba mkuku nijua mkuku naweka haba awisi toka ay dhahan marka waxaan ku celiyoon askarina nafanya sisna mnahi lakini nasema unijua president moyo ndio signature ku malisa nyinyi ndio nafanya saini maqlaysa waayna nadameyeen jaraha meeshaan hadda iga taala hadiis adiga arki lahayd yaa baasu dhiman markaas waxaan xoogid iyo waxaan noo gashay aqal gudka ka ragina saanay baka yeesho adduunyada ilaahay sidan ku noolna ilaahay yaqaan ragay lan 40 sano jira lagu arki ma bula joogo aan rabnaa
dadkii oo maartay waxa sameeyay
kuwaas aan ku dhiilay hilibka oo ilkaha in lagu guri lahaa yaa ka dhiilahaa ma arkaa waa adowgina dhimay oo isku jira mooy isku jiro oo maarka kablageeda isku jiro oo bensal karya isku jiro waxaan gubiga on kuwaad Soomaa
markaan dadkayna sidii noogala qumiyaan 10 saaca waa ku sugeynaa waxay cunaan iyo waxay dilaan iyo waxay dheereeyaan ay ka dhigaan alaanadan inay soo socdaan ay nolota waliba anaga ma wax kiisan lahay waa calooshan waa nooga yeelaan bartoodin waa noo siin boqotaa maqlaysa ilmaayna dabar meel ay waraaq ka hagaagsan karaan abay waa gala masaka isku dhintay cunug dhigi kara mala abay waa dhintay meel isku dhintay moogi aw qoran ma maqlaysa maalintii iyo barga dhaxdooda wax ma jiidayn ilmihi ilaa cunug hataa iskuul ka baxsan mala wax sideed galad magaan gaartiin hataa iska carar wax iska maskiimo wax shaqalaana wax dirbidir bay ku dhaceen alaantan waa ku joogtaa dawladdan hadda soo gashay waxaan ka codsanaynaa inay garab qabato oo fiir gooni ay rabo waa gala masaka ay garabkana qabataan u baahan